And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Shankly Athletic Complex at the University of Cincinnati. A rare shift as we await for the Taft Stadium to be completed. So it's football at the University of Cincinnati this afternoon. Warner University, the Royals taking on Cincinnati Christian. The Eagles, great to be with you as we kick off the 2019 season. Cincinnati Christian comes 0-11 on the year, 1-9 for the Warner Royals, and their biggest contest today may not be the football game. As you well know, there is hurricane bearing down on the east coast, the space coast, if you will, of Florida. Warner in Orlando is about 45 minutes to an hour from the coast. So they're going to hustle up, try to get to their flight. It's leaving at 6 o'clock. And they are going to try to get to the airport as quickly as possible to get that flight back to Florida. Once they're there, they're going to pack up their stuff, and they're going to bug out first thing in the morning. So that's the concern. Football right now is getting their mind off of that. Great to have you along this afternoon. This is a Cincinnati Christian team that amassed 1,955 yards and passing 2,659 on the ground, an average of 241 yards a game. We look at Warner, the Royals, as we mentioned, rushing for 1,300 yards last year, 1,600 passing, a combined total of 23 touchdowns, an average of 299 yards a game. We're getting ready to get this one going. The Royals will kick it away as we get the 2019 season started. We field it inside the 10, cuts up the middle, has a nice opening across to the 30. Finally brought down just at about the 31, so a nice start to this game for Cincinnati Christian. Travion Falls from Westerville, Ohio, gets things started. 1st and 10. Ball will be marked smack dab at the 31. Royals in all white with black numbers, the yellow helmet. Cincinnati Christian in purple and white. Set on the offense right after this, under center, or actually back in the gun. Looking. And nicely done as we get things started for this contest. Good for the first down. Advances to the 42-yard line. Greg Wills, the sophomore, back to the shotgun. 3 receivers to the far side. 1st and 10 from the 42. Jukes for a moment, cuts straight ahead, picks up a couple yards, and gets to the 39. So a pickup of about 3 yards. 14:25 here to play in the first quarter. The ball carrier, Adam Sanders. We'll look at that opening pass here in a moment. Taylor makes the connection. Backpedaling and hauling it in is Wells, the sophomore. Craig Wills, from Cincinnati. Coming in motion. That's Sanders. And a little bit of confusion as Wells goes back. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Taylor looks. Nicely done. Misses the first down by about a yard. In there making the stop for the Royals. And didn't get a look. Look at that pass from a different angle. Wills kind of got lost in it for a moment, but a great job of staying with it, and of course, awareness of where the sideline was. So coming up under center, Taylor, the junior, 5'9", 206 pounds. Some confusion in the background, picking it up and nearly back to the original line of scrimmage, and Warner says they have it, and they do. I wouldn't say it was an impressive first drive, but it was a consistent first drive. So Warner will take over. Check that out here. It looked like Sanders was able to advance it, and somehow Warner came up with it as we look at it. Nope, that was a Warner man that got it. And it just is too hard for Derek Taylor, the junior quarterback, to handle it. 1st and 10, ball at the 33. Single man in the backfield. Cuts up the middle, gets about a yard. Ball carrier, Junior McLaughlin. 5'11", 195-pound freshman. McLaughlin from Baker, Florida. Again, he's flanking the quarterback, Mike Young. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Clock ticking down from 12:30. Set at the 34-yard line right now. Jukes and jives, gets some second effort. Finally gets it to the 40-yard line. The catch hauled in by Theo Hammonds. Just over 12 minutes to play here in the first quarter. No score. Cincinnati Christian surrenders their first possession on a fumble. Laws to the far side, also lined up on the far side. That's Jennings. 2 receivers on the near side. Back to pass. Looking on the run. And there's another one. That one will fumble out of bounds and it'll stay with Warner. Looks like he advanced to about the 39. But most importantly, that brings up 4th down. 4th down and about 4. Cincinnati Christian should get it back in pretty decent field position. Back to receive it, Maceo Clinton from Shirley, New York. 11:41 to play here in the first quarter. High end over end kick. Fair caught at the 24. And we have played exactly 6 plays. Cincinnati Christian will take it over, 1st and 10 at their 24-yard line. And we got a face mask that's going against Cincinnati Christian. Eagles take it on the road next week. That one will push it back to the 11.5-yard line. Let's call it the 12. Cincinnati Christian will be at Cumberland, Tennessee next week and heads to Anderson on September 14th. Both those, of course, Saturday games. Warner will have next Saturday off. Probably a good thing with all that's going down weather-wise in Central Florida and East Florida. 1st and 10. Ball at the 11-yard line. 2 receivers wide to the near side. Quarterback under center. A big hole, cuts it across the 15, still on his feet. Finally tripped up near the 17. And a great job of finding the hole, and that's something that he has done so much early on in this contest. Sanders. Look at that hole and how much room he had, and always able just to spin it out. So 2nd down and 4, ball at the 18. Pair of receivers to the far side, one lined up in the slot. Young under center. Taylor under center. And that's going to be stopped at the 19. Not nearly close enough for the 1st down. Had to get to the 22. That'll bring up 3rd down and a 3. First quarter action coming to you from the University of Cincinnati. The Eagles had to call an audible, so to speak, to get this facility. Thanks to the University of Cincinnati Athletic Department for making this happen. Coming to you from the Shakely Athletic Complex. Man comes in motion to the near side. That one complete again to Wills. Wills. And that's just enough for the first down. Wills, 2 catches, both of them for first downs. Both in coverage. Check that out again. Tell you what, that was all kinds of hitting. Check at it again. Quan Lee put the hurt on. Two receivers to the far side, one to the near side. A single setback. Taylor calling out the signals. Moving to the 9:31 mark here in the first quarter. Straight ahead. Finally wrestled down to about the 28-yard line. Sanders with another carry. Then they're making the stop. Anderson. LaMarcus Anderson from Miami, Florida, from Miami Jackson. Second down and 8 ball at the 26. First down marker set at the 34. Not too hot, not too cold. A nice day for football. 3 receivers wide to the right. Again in the backfield, that's Sanders. Looking over the middle, the foot race. Did he get it? Yes, he did. First down at the 31-yard line. A nice placement. Nope, they're going to put it back at the 34. But a nice job hauling that in. Let's take a look at it again. No doubt, as Taylor lets it fly. Rolling out to the right side, still looking for options. Going for broke, looking into the end zone. And I tell you what, Cincinnati Christian, very lucky that didn't result in an INT, because the defensive back was all over it. And give credit to Ron Johnson for breaking it up. We've got the injured player down there. I think probably an arm injury, to be honest with you, the way he came down on it, but we will not speculate beyond that. Camet Jackson, a sophomore, and he's up. He had that ball all to himself. Wills just batted it away from him. The way he came down on it, looked like he jammed his forearm. But again, we're not doctors. Tell you what, Taylor is not afraid to air it out. Could see an explosive season for the Eagles. One receiver to the far side, one to the near side. Taylor in the gun. Man in motion to the far side is Collins. Gives it ahead to the 33. The ball carrier, Evan Krim, a freshman. They're going to put it at the 33. So we'll call that third down and 8. 7:48 to play here in the first quarter as we come to you from the University of Cincinnati. Dean Jackson along with you. Cincinnati Christian coming out with the pretty decent opening couple drives, mixing it up with the pass, mixing it up with the run. Again, airing it out, let him run underneath it. Had it in the hands and bounced away. Great defensive pursuit as well. Looked like Cameron Canful was down there breaking it up. Intended for Maceo Clinton from Shirley, New York, also the punt returner. Brings up 4th and 8. 4 down territory. Cincinnati Christian says, we're going to roll the dice. Go for it. I'll bet he'd call a timeout. Nope. Thought he's going to try to draw him off sides, but it's a little too far for off sides. Clock down to 10 seconds. Taylor throws it on the run. It just missed. Wills couldn't get there quick enough, just a half step off of the ball. And I'll tell you what, Derek Taylor, not afraid to let it fly. A little faster or longer arms, he would have got that. 7:08 to play. Brings up the second possession for the Warner Royals. 1st and 10 at the 33. Back to pass. They're going to go to the air. That one almost snagged by Cincinnati Christian. Was intended for Kevin Laws. Laws is slow getting up. He's taking off the helmet. Tell you what, you never see a player take a helmet off. Catch all home games for Cincinnati Christian University on Warner Sports, or Waycross Sports, excuse me. They still tend to the injured player. Lots of clouds today, keeping it cool. And Laws will be helped to the sideline. 2nd down and 10. Ball remains at the 33-yard line. Midway through the first quarter, no score. Cincinnati Christian showing some flashes of consistency and showing a preview of perhaps a high-powered passing attack. Cuts across to the 35, wrestled down short of the 40 to the 38. McLaughlin, the ball carrier for the Royals. Still 3rd and relatively long. 3rd and 5, we'll call it. Just over 6.5 minutes left in this first quarter. You really get the feeling after the first 2 drives from Cincinnati Christian, they're really close to putting something together. And down the sideline, tripped up at the 50. And we got a fight going on the sidelines. Spewed about 2 or 3 yards past the sideline, and that's not a spot that you want to get tangled up in. Right in the middle of 40 of your opponents, you're going 1 on 40. That's not a good number. I'm not so sure it was intentional. It looked like somebody ran into somebody, and the result, somebody took exception to the All right, we have a Warner player that was thrown down, and then the guy who threw him down was subsequently thrown down. Fortunately, nobody was penalized. McLaughlin breaks free to the 45. .5:47 to play here in the first quarter. Pickup of, we'll call it 2 yards, puts it right at the 45-yard line. This is the furthest that the Royals have gone this afternoon. Pair of receivers on each side. McLaughlin the setback. Back to pass. Working free. Young will scramble for the first down. And some words exchanged on the sideline. And tell you what, there's going to be a real special attention paid to the sidelines now. 2 things have happened there in the last couple of minutes. So Young, you see him out of the pocket, flushed out, quickly able to work free, brought down by Tyler Shuby from Lima, Ohio. I believe he went to Lima Senior. First and 10 at the 34. Again, this is as far as Warner has gone. McLaughlin cuts to the right, goes ahead, up the gut, across into the 10. He'll be wrestled down at the 9-yard line. So a nice pickup. That would be a 25-yard gain. First and goal to go at the 9. Third player that we've seen down early. 4:22 remaining here in the first quarter, no score. And Warner University knocking on the door, the furthest anybody has plunged into enemy territory this afternoon. Checking action from the Mid-South into the third. I'm sorry, it is a final from last night. Murray State 59-20 over Pikeville. Lindsley Wilson by Lindsey Wilson big. 16-point win over Campbellsville. And those are the scores as we have them right now. Just 20 minutes into the Mid-South season. And he will find his way in. A 9-yard run. Mike Young, the sophomore, finds the hole. You got to get on that guy. He's already showed that he can make plays. Kept that drive alive with a big pickup about 3 plays ago. So now it's Warner 6, Cincinnati Christian 0. Just over 4 minutes to play, 4:06. Point after on the way. And Tobar nails it. Santiago Tobar. It is now 7-0. I'll have the stats from that drive for you here in a moment. He went 5-6 yards without anybody even being able to touch him. So Tobar will set it up to kick it away. Cincinnati Christian has shown some real flash here early on. But Warner draws first blood. And certainly punctuated, sustained by their quarterback, Mike Young. Mike Young, a product of Jacksonville's Fletcher High School. This is Shakely Athletic Complex. As you know or may not know, this is the practice facility for the University of Cincinnati. Nippert Stadium, probably about 300 yards to the west. Shoemaker Center, where they play basketball, about 150 yards to the northwest of this facility. Tobar's kick high out over and fielded at about the 6. Backpedals a little. Cuts to the near side, right up the gut, has a big opening, and he'll be brought down at the 27 and the push after. Ryan Collins from Akron, Ohio, gets things started. Take a look at that drive where sustained by runs. Another look at Mike Young, and he finishes off that drive with the 9-yard touchdown. Warner University, that drive, the portrait of consistency, the portrait of efficiency. Struggling to find the way to the outside. Stiff arm gets it to the 35. Nice job of picking some extra yards. He didn't really have a whole lot to work with. Sanders, the ball carrier. He has gotten the bulk of the carries. Wouldn't say that Cincinnati Christian is a pass-first team yet, but I'd say it's at the back of their mind. Taylor looking, flushed out of the pocket, has an opening very briefly, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. Cincinnati Christian returns home September 28th, a Saturday versus Thomas More. 3 receivers to the near side. Clock at 2:52. Quick out. Covered all over and still too short. Clinton couldn't haul it in. A little too low as well. Low, a little short. Brings up 4th down and 5. This will be Cincinnati Christian's first punt. Andrew Nixon, the freshman, at 5'11", 155 pounds, will boot it away. Will take a bounce at about the 36 and take a Cincinnati Christian roll to the 30. Certainly the most frustrating possession of the game so far for Cincinnati Christian. 2:45 left to play, first quarter. Nose of the football, touching the 30-yard line. Warner getting things ready to go. Young with several impressive runs, including the 9-yard touchdown. The give straight up, streaking across the 40 with the late hit there as well. A little pop. Javon Wilson gets the first down, plus about a yard. Check that out again. The stop, a little bit of a pop there at the end. Stop for Cincinnati Christian by Michael Williams from Miamisburg, Ohio. First down and 10. Ball at the 41, clock ticking down to 2:15. Young back to pass. He's got time. Sets up, incomplete. Closest player there, anywhere close, was Michael Williams, of course, from Cincinnati Christian. Clock stopped at 2:12. Second down and 10. Setting at the 42-yard line. Brown way in the far side. Advances about 3 yards. Not much more than that. Wilson getting back-to-back carries. Clock now at 1:55. Wilson will make his way out. Coming back in is McLaughlin. He flanks Young in the backfield. Pair of receivers on each side. Minute 31 to play here in the first quarter. Low snap. Young coming out. That one picked. There's no question about it. Making very careful consideration of the sideline. Michael Williams, and I'll tell you, Williams has been involved in the last couple of plays, so it was only a matter of time before he was able to pick one out. Let's see how Cincinnati Christian responds. A big boost in the arm. Cincinnati Christian trailing 7-0 here. Warner Southern scored just a few moments ago. And a 9-yard run by quarterback Mike Young. Taylor back to pass. He's got time. He's looking long. And he finally made the connection. The 47-yarder. Taylor has been flirting with that play all day and finally makes the connection. Maceo Clinton. Just a foot race. There was no way any Warner player was going to get to him. It was only a question as if he could catch up with the ball. In to try the point after. Sanders. The snap, the kick. And no good. Let's take a look at that pass once again. Taylor, with big eyes, finds Clinton, makes the basket catch, and it literally was a sprint to the end zone. And it really wasn't even as close as it looked. He had two defenders in pursuit about 3 yards off, but there was no way they were going to have a chance at the ball. No way they were going to catch up with Clinton. So 7-6 game, the miss. We come to the final 1:16 of the first quarter, and wow, this crowd is electrified. Pretty good crowd here. Seats about 1,500 here at Shaky Athletic Complex. Also use it for lacrosse. The freshman Adam Sanders set to kick it away. Little bit of different style right there. Goes out of bounds. We'll see how it all got started. Young rolling out. And no doubt about it, Williams caught it. Taylor with the long ball touchdown. I'm going to make this statement right now. We'll see a lot of plays like this season. You saw Taylor wanting it early. Really just an issue of timing. First and 10, ball at the 41. Minute 16 left to play in this quarter. Young in the gun, looking back. Has to sky to get it. Hauls it in at the 45. Pair of defenders in there to make the stop, including Tyler Shuby from Lima, Ohio. Some instant offense from the Eagles. Taylor to Clinton. Counted for 6. A 47-yard touchdown pass. Straight ahead to the 45. Very little gain. McLaughlin brings up 3rd down and 5. 25 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Receivers split both sides, 2 on each. 4 down linemen showing for Cincinnati. Over the middle, and really kind of a dangerous pass as Young tries to make the connection with Theodore Hammonds. Brings up 4th down and 5, and that will end the first quarter. We welcome you back. Second quarter action. Warner leading Cincinnati Christian 7-6. Warner did it with a sustained slow run game. Warner will punt this one away. It will be downed at the 29-yard line. Cincinnati Christian will get it back. The scores could not be any different. A sustained run game capped off by a 9-yard run by Mike Young. Gives Warner, of course, with the point after a 7-0 lead. Cincinnati Christian comes back after an interception. A 47-yard quick hit home run ball as Derek Taylor connects with Maceo Clinton. Point after was no good, and that's where we're at right now. 1st and 10, ball at the 29-yard line. Taylor, the give, cuts open across the 35. Open field hit at the 41, and there he goes down. Sanders starting to find his spot in this game, finding his groove. 15 seconds gone here in the second quarter. Cincinnati Christian trying to work quickly. 4 men on the rush for Warner. The give again to Sanders. No gain. 2nd down and 10. Second down and 10. Cincinnati Christian football at the 41-yard line, their own. Taylor quick out to the right side. Nicely done to Isaac Hawkins. First time we've called the sophomore's name this afternoon. Checking out other scores for end of the first quarter. Faulkner 7-7 with Bluefield. That's the only other action that we have as a score at this point other than this game. 3rd down and 1. Taylor under center. The give straight ahead. Good for the first down. Plunging ahead. Ball carrier for Cincinnati Christian, Evan Krim. From Middletown, Ohio, a freshman running back. First and 10. Ball set at the Warner 47. Taylor quick, complete, ahead to the 35. Finally brought down at about the 32. Cincinnati Christian making the connection. Taylor finding Jawan Briggs. Getting all kinds of activity. A lot of people getting involved with this offense now for Cincinnati Christian. McLaughlin back in the backfield. Hawkins on the near side. Pickett in the slot. McLaughlin comes up. Taylor will follow the block. Cuts to the outside. Looked like he wanted to run, throw for a moment, then runs to the sideline. May have lost a yard. That'll bring up 2nd down and at least 10. Ball setting at the 37-yard line. Dean Jackson along with you. Waycross Sports broadcast of this game. We'll have 5 home games this season for Eagles football. Next home game, September 28th versus Thomas More. The shuffle pass to McLaughlin. Cuts to the outside. Just enough confusion. He should be good for the first down. An 11-yard pickup for McLaughlin, and now the yards are starting to pile up for the running back. Excuse me, that's Sanders. McLaughlin is the Warner running back. Regardless, Sanders is picking up yards. Lost it into the corner. Battling for it. Nope. Taylor does what every good quarterback does. Puts it up there and makes the receiver go get it. So the only person that can get it is the wide receiver. Craig Wills showed early on that he can go do it too. First pass of the game. Got the first down, navigating the sidelines. Kind of handcuffed, but still able to make the play. .11:39 to play here in the first half. Both these teams have a touchdown. Cincinnati Christian Missed on the extra point. Wills will find the opening to the 6-yard line. Nicely done on the reverse. Take a look at it again. And I think it was kind of set up by a little bit of confusion. It looked like it looked, quote unquote, like a bad handoff, but it wasn't. And of course, Wills able to bring it in. 1st and goal to go from the 6. Cincinnati Christian looking to take the lead. Taylor will loft it up. Again, nobody can get to it. Looked like he was trying to get it to Ryan Collins, the freshman wide receiver. You know, and that's the thing that looks so good for the Cincinnati Christian team is so many young players are getting involved early and contributing early. 10:52 to play, 2nd quarter. 2nd and goal to go from the 6. I'm not so certain that pass wasn't something to set up something bigger coming down. Of course, that's how football is. Just past the outstretched arms of Pickett. Pickett looked like he had a little bit of delay getting to the ball to begin with. Sometimes those plays are nothing more than timing patterns. Third down and 6. Or I should say 3rd and goal to go from the 6. 3 receivers, no men in the backfield. 4 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Taylor will take it himself, shuffles his way in, high-stepping for the score. A 6-yard run, Cincinnati Christian now up 12-7. Kind of had to hot step, high step the last couple of yards, finishing it off. Point after, Cincinnati Christian up now by 5, chance to go up by 6. Point after is up, and it is no good. 2 straight extra point misses for Cincinnati Christian, but they're up by 5. Fielded about the 16, cuts through the middle, big hole out across, finally getting brought down at the 42. Now we start seeing where the chess match early is starting to pay off. We see that so far Warner doesn't want to pass. Cincinnati Christian happy to do either. Young over the middle, having a fight to get that one, but he does. Jackson hauls it in, wrestling it away, virtually wrestling it away from Daquan Render from Chicago. First and 10. All setting at the 33. 10 minutes, 12 seconds left in the second quarter. Warner with two receivers on each side. Single setback. I'm going to guess they're setting up for the pass, and that Young is forced out. Taking the gamble, throws it, and well short. Bounces at the 8-yard line, but both the defender and the receiver were at about the 7. And that was not the play that Young wanted, obviously. Brings up second down and 10. You saw him holding his arms out like, what am I supposed to do? Up the gut, McLaughlin gets to the 30, plunges further ahead to about the 27. That'll be a pickup of 7 yards, but still third down and 3. Hammonds and Jackson wide to the far side for Warner. Brown and Jennings on the near side. Brown, the man furthest to the sideline. The give to McLaughlin. Bounced at the 25, goes no further. And some extracurricular on the sideline going on between Brown and it looked like Daquan Render. Fourth and 1 at the 25. It's a big one. Hear that crowd get into it. Doesn't look like he got it. It looked like initially he may have, but nope. The Cincinnati Christian defense stands. Davis slow getting up after the keep, after the quarterback keep. I think he's saying something to the effect of who was driving that truck. Cincinnati Christian taking over, first and 10 at the 25, their own 25. 8:26 to play in the second quarter. Dean Jackson along with you for Waycross Sports. Coverage of Cincinnati Christian football. 5 games this season will bring you. First and 10. Ball at the 25. Taylor, the give to Sanders, cuts off to the left side, spins ahead to the 32. That'll be a pickup of about 7 yards, bringing up second down and 3. 5-point advantage. Cincinnati Christian has scored 12 unanswered points, a pair of touchdowns, and extra points that did not convert. Taylor out of the pocket, under pressure, incomplete. That was an intended pass, was intended for Maceo Clinton. 3rd down and 4 after the incomplete pass. Quickly out to Clinton, near the 1st down marker. Don't think he got it. Nope. Don't think he got the 1st down. I do think he, nope, they're going to say he didn't catch it. Didn't have a good angle, so we bring in the punt team, 4th and 4 at the 31. Little chance for Cincinnati Christian to make hay after the turnover on downs, but unable to do so. At least that's how it would look. Don't think any type of trickery coming on this one. Not the time or the place. Warner have to make some personnel adjustments quickly on the fly. 2 seconds left. Flag on the play. And I'm not so certain that Cincinnati Christian wasn't milking the clock to draw the flag on the personnel issues for Warner. They're going to bring it back. Offsides is in fact the call. So a little patience for Cincinnati Christian results, and should be good for the 1st down. Well, don't see that very often in a punt situation. They were able to make it happen. It was 4th and 4 at the 31. They'll advance it ahead to the 36, so that's one way to keep possession. Cincinnati Christian just catches Warner off guard. Well, Warner simply wasn't ready. 4-man front on the defense for Warner. Switching up on the line, coming to the near side is Wills. Now coming back to the near side in the slot, timeout. All kinds of confusion. Cincinnati Christian wasn't sure what was going on there. At least 1 or 2 players were. Jawan Briggs went one way, went the opposite way, then finally comes another way, and they call the timeout. Get a reminder, next up for Cincinnati Christian, playing at Cumberland, Tennessee next week, 2 p.m. game, 2:30 p.m., excuse me. Meanwhile, Warner in a scheduling break. Won't play again until the 21st. There's Young rumbling in from 9 yards to give Warner their first touchdown. Taylor connecting with Maceo Clinton. The 47-yarder, the sprint, the touchdown, making it 7-6. And then Derek Taylor high-stepping his way for the score from 6 yards out to bring us to where we are right now, 12-7. 7:41 to play, first half. Jawan Briggs comes into the slot. A little bit of a high snap, gives to Sanders. He's got all kinds of room, still on his feet, brought down at the 44. That'll be good for a pickup of at least 7 yards. So it'll bring up 2nd down, and it'll take a long 2. Clock at 7:22. Rolling down. Be interesting to look at the first half stats. Cincinnati Christian, and I don't have the stats in front of me at the moment, but seems to be very balanced. Not kind of hinting towards the run. Very little gain, if any. Jared Purdue, the ball carrier. First time we've called his name, a sophomore. Sophomore from Streetsboro, Ohio. So 3rd down and 2. Ball at the 44. Pass complete to Wills. He will get the first down. Wills and Clinton, the primary targets for Taylor, but Taylor's getting everybody involved with the run game, the pass game, including himself on the run. I'll tell you, Wills has done a nice job of navigating the tightrope that's the sideline. 6:07 to play. Second quarter. Cincinnati Christian up by 5. Back-to-back touchdowns. 2 unanswered touchdowns. Taylor connects with Clinton for one, runs for the other. Movement on the line, no flat. There it comes. Warner says it's against Cincinnati Christian. The officials say it is too. So they're gonna, looks like they're gonna, okay, they're gonna put it at 5:43. Sanders flanking Taylor. Taylor with a little bit of a high snap. Sending it over the middle, can't get it over. Christian Williams from Annapolis, Maryland. Again, kind of one of those fade patterns into the end zone. That was a fade pattern over the middle, hoping Williams would be able to camp out underneath it. Just couldn't get it done. We've seen Taylor do that quite a bit today. You know, that's going to be something as the season goes that they're going to understand the timing. First game of the season. It's not happening yet, or hasn't happened as much as Taylor or the coaching staff wants. 2nd and 15, ball marked at the 42. Pair of receivers to the far side. Taylor looking to the sideline for the play. Look, the hand signal. Wills comes in motion. Nicely done, pop free. Jawan Briggs had it in the breadbasket and it slips out. Unfortunately for Cincinnati Christian, so did the Warner defender. Look at that play again. Just ricocheted into the defender's arms and couldn't hold on to it. Jawan Briggs could not have had a better ball to catch. 3rd down and 15, ball at the 42. Cincinnati Christian starting to sputter. Taylor back to pass. Looking to the sideline, incomplete. Looked like Clinton was just a little bit slow on it. So 2nd down, brings up 4th and 15. 5:17 to play, second quarter. Last time Cincinnati Christian lined up to punt, they drew Warner off sides. I don't think that's going to happen again. Special teams, such an important part of the game. Special teams coaches coaches don't let mistakes happen often. The repeated mistake. Barely able to get a free 10 men on the rush. Bounces at the 29, backpedaling. Still backpedaling inside the 15. And will go out of bounds. Did he get out of bounds? Will look like he may have at the 25, but instead we have a flag on the play, so we'll just wait for them to sort it all out. 10 men on the line. Throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Blair. Dylan Blair, a freshman. Penalty going against Warner, and that'll push him back to their own 15-yard line. First and 10. At the 15, 5:03. Young. Screen pass in the backfield. Jukes pass the Cincinnati defender. Shuby got faked out. Warner player gets to the 20-yard line and he's slow to get up. We've had 4 Warner players that have been on the turf for an extended period. Hesitate to say injured, but they were on the turf. It's Junior McLaughlin, and he's not somebody that Warner wants to mess with. And he's not in any hurry to get up. And he will be escorted to the sideline. As we told you in pregame, after this contest, Warner is going to hightail it back to Orlando. They're from Lake Wales, which is in the Orlando area, about 45 minutes off the east coast of Florida, where hurricane is bearing down. They'll have just enough time to get their stuff and get out early tomorrow morning. And the challenge, too, is to get their stuff, get it together, get to the airport for a 6:15 flight. Remember, you got to get to the airport about 2 hours in advance. This game likely won't end anytime before 3:30. So it will be a foot race to the airport. Met in the backfield, there's a fumble. Warner picks it up. Wilson was hit hard, almost didn't look like he didn't even have full possession of it. Puts the ball at the 16. Warner lucky to get that one. You do not want to cough up the football in the red zone, in the opponent's red zone. Brings up 3rd down and 9. Under 4 minutes to play, exactly 3:52 right now here in the first half. Young and shotgun, 2 receivers on each side. And they're playing without McLaughlin at the moment. Young flushed out, throwing on the run, complete at the 38-yard line. And we have another Warner player that's a little slow to get up. Shaken up, but he continues. I believe his number was kind of folded over. I believe that was Theodore Hammond's. Look at it again. Young running for his life. First and 10 at the 39. Warner would love to get something going before halftime. On the run. Now will they say that he was throwing it away? He certainly was very close. Yes, there's the flag. He was literally a heartbeat from being snagged. Illegal grounding. Intentional grounding. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Loss of down. And they're thought they would assess the penalty in terms of yardage as well. But they stopped, and they're going to sort it out right now. Warner's passing game has been inconsistent. They've had moments of greatness, but they've not been able to string it together, and certainly that's going to take on an added importance. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. We'll push it to the 31. And a loss of down at the point of the infraction. So essentially, if he would have been tackled there, that's where they put it. So 2nd down, 18, ball at the 31. Again, Warner without McLaughlin. Screen pass, and they actually lost a yard. Did not set up well at all for the Royals. Anderson was open, but there's a reason, because he was behind the line of scrimmage. Moving to the 2:37 mark here in the 2nd quarter. As we mentioned, their leading runner, Junior McLaughlin, went out with an injury a few moments ago. So that has now shifted to Javon Wilson, who's got speed, but he certainly doesn't have the same type of moves. Young back to pass, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to keep it himself. Slides ahead to the 35, and that still will make it about a 4th and 14 situation. 2:06, the clock stops, brings up 4th down. Cincinnati Christian's defense getting much stronger as this game continues. Cincinnati Christian, 12 unanswered points. So Cincinnati Christian team that's getting stronger as we continue with excellent play calling, shifting it up between the run and the pass. Cincinnati Christian is starting to get things to click for sure. We got a timeout, chance for us to check the scoreboard from other games in the Mid-South. Still no score from any of the other games. We're going to get on the official website here in a moment when we have a chance. Warner will punt it away. It will be downed inside the 35. Actually going to put it ahead to the 37. So with 1:59 to play first half, Cincinnati Christian enjoying how things are going for sure. We'll look at that early fumble. You know, we talk about the offense today. There's a good look at the defense for CCU. Coming up with big stops as well. Taylor pump fakes. Little shuffle pass to Sanders. Weaves his way across to the 45. Down to the 48-yard line. Pickup of 11 yards, and they'll move the chains. Clock stop at 1:51. And then they'll get started up again. 1st and 10. Ball at the 48. Taylor steps out of the pocket. Again, little touch pass down the sideline to Sanders. He'll get inside. The 20 will be wrestled down at about the 16. Cincinnati Christian about ready to punch another one in from the red zone. And I don't know if Warner is thinking halftime or what. First and 10 at the 16, a minute and a half to work with. Cincinnati Christian starting to flex its muscle right now. Another score by Cincinnati Christian will make things interesting, to say, if not to say difficult. And again, another short screen pass. That one a shuffle pass and a fumble. Sanders can't stay on. And don't forget, there is a flag. So the penalty will go against Cincinnati Christian. The fumble will stand because Warner declines it. And if you're Warner, you breathe in a big sigh of relief. The way that their offense has been sputtering, you don't want to go down double digits. Wilson rumbles, stumbles ahead to the 30-yard line. Second down and 3, ball at the 30-yard line, a minute to play here in the first half. Young over the middle. That one is complete. Hauling it in, Theodore Hammonds. And they'll move the chains to the 43-yard line. 53 seconds to play in the first half. If you're Warner, you have to be thinking, let's move the football, maybe get in position for a field goal. Wilson straight ahead, has an opening, and he gets it to the 43-yard line, 44-yard line, 43, excuse me. Still out of field goal range. By about 15 yards, even the best field goal kickers. Timeout called with 30 seconds. From here, it would be about a 61-yarder. Warner dodged a big bullet, though. Sanders, who normally sure-handed, and got back-to-back kind of quirky passes, some screen passes, shuffle passes. Moving in from the 6 and then can't hold on to it after he advances. First and 10 at the 43. Four receivers in the game. Wilson, the setback, flanking Young. Young steps up, goes over the middle, hauling it in. And will it get in? Yes, he will. A 43-yarder. And how fortunes have changed as Jackson is able to haul in the 43-yarder. Albeit stumbling and diving in, he scores. And Warner has the lead again. Tobar to try the point after. Chance to go up by 2 for the Royals. Royals really, really fortunate in this possession. And a whistle on the... legal procedure against Warner. Ball starts, so that'll push him back. Just makes things a little more difficult, but relatively speaking, not all that difficult. The snap. The kick is up, and it is good. So now, with that, a 2-point lead for the Royals after the 43-yard completion. Jackson hauling in the pass from Michael Young. And it really was looking like Warner was sputtering. .22 seconds left in the first half. Tobar will have to adjust. There really isn't a whole lot of wind today, and then that happens. You know, this field is kind of built into a pit. The short bouncing pass. Jaquan Biggs scrambles for it. Warner says they have it. And coming up with it, they do. Jacob Ross from Plant City, Florida, wrestles away that football. Jaquan Briggs, couldn't keep up. So now with 17 seconds left here in the first half, Warner trying to put an exclamation point on this first half. And really, pretty good call. Going for the onside kick, thinking the half was going to get over. Also, you get a chance to get some points on the board, and I'm not so certain they don't get the football back to start the second half. Young will probably come out passing, looking for something short to set up the. Gives to Wilson. He'll get across the 30 and go out at the 18. One more play before you think they would set up a field goal. At this point, why not go for this touchdown? And that's what they're going to do. Gutsy call. But a smart call to go for the onside. 10 seconds left. Young, if he doesn't like what he sees, he'll just throw it away. Over the middle. Gets behind the defenders, incomplete. 5 seconds left, and here come the kick team. We have a whistle, but I don't see a flag yet. Okay, so this one would be about a 36-yarder. Here comes the kick team. Up, it's going to be what we'd say a 40-yarder. 5 seconds to work with. And we just got a timeout. Warner takes their second timeout just to make sure everything is right. Sky's starting to lift a bit here. Should a little more sun. It was pretty gray, mild day. Some spots of sun peeking through. By no stretch a sunny day, but a nice day. Oh. 14-12. A 43-yard touchdown. Just moments ago, Trayvon Jackson hauls one in from Michael Young. And kind of shocked this crowd. Warner adding to the shock by recovering the onside kick, and now has a chance to go up by 5. Instead, they're going to go for it. Kicking team pulled off the field. Warner likes what they saw. Back to pass. Young looking into the corner. Almost intercepted, and that will end it for the first half. 2 quarters in the book. Warner on top, 14-12. This is Cincinnati Christian University football on Waycross Sports.
They officiate. For some, it's a way of staying involved in a sport they grew up with. For others, it's a way to pay it forward by helping kids who play today and tomorrow. It's also a great way to stay active, make extra money, and work with friends. And all of them will say it boils down to one thing: the love of the game. Find your reasons and log on to ohsaa.org to find out how to become an official. You'll be glad you did. This is the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Educate through sports.
And we welcome you back. Moments away from getting started with the second half, and some statistics that are kind of surprising to me. I thought that Cincinnati Christian was certainly doing much better than the numbers they have accumulated for rushing. 18 attempts, 17 yards. So I thought it was a balanced attack today, not as balanced as I thought. But the passing game, 12 of 24, 212 yards. This is a team that has compiled 229 yards in this contest. Meanwhile, Warner, 190 yards overall. They're 10 of 18 passing with 1 interception, 17 of 79 rushing. 13 first downs for Cincinnati Christian, 10 for Warner. Looking at some other stats here for you. Time of possession. Cincinnati Christian has had the ball just 8 minutes, 43 seconds in this contest. 12 minutes, 25 seconds. Meanwhile, for the Royals, for Warner University. And the difference in this game, even with those stats, the missed extra points, 2 PAT misses for Cincinnati Christian. That brings us to where we are right now at 14-12. Warner slowly making their way into the stadium now. They were a bit tardy coming back, you know, for a team that, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic here, for a team that has to catch a flight at 6:15 and has to be there 2 hours early. There's not a lot of urgency coming back for them onto the field. But it is what it is. Certainly, I would assume that there was a lively discussion at halftime. Both of these teams had that as well, I'm sure. Cincinnati Christian, 229 total yards of offense, 190 for Warner University. Some individual numbers for you. Javon Wilson has 5 carries, 30 yards. He is the leading carrier for Warner after coming in. Now, he did have some rushes early, but he's come in largely in relief of Junior McLaughlin, who went down with some sort of injury in the second quarter. Michael Young, the Royal quarterback, 10 of 18, 1 interception, 111 yards passing, 1 touchdown receiving. Theodore Hammonds has caught 3 passes for 42. Trayvon Jackson has caught 3 passes for 33 and a touchdown, including a 43-yarder, the longest. So that's a little confusing that he's got a touchdown, 43 yards, and total yards of 33. But we'll get onto that. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati Christian, Maceo Clinton, 3 catches, 94 yards, a touchdown. 4 for 57 for Adam Sanders, including a couple shuffle passes. Derek Taylor, 12 for 24, 212 yards, and 1 touchdown. And the rushing numbers very sparse for Cincinnati Christian. The leading rusher, Craig Wills, he's got 1 rush for 15 yards. He is the leading rusher in this game. Adam Sanders, 11 carries, -7 yards rushing. We are ready to get going here in the second half. See how Cincinnati Christian remedies their rushing numbers. And Warner, as I mentioned before, isn't a team that necessarily wants to pass, but they're just doing okay in that category. They're getting it done. The return to the 42-yard line as we get things started here in the second half. Game number 1 of the 2019 season. Warner from Lake Wales, Florida. And if you didn't hear our comments earlier in the game, if you think of Florida, you certainly think of the impending hurricane bearing down on Florida's east coast. Lake Wales about 45 minutes from the coast. Certainly not going to get a lot of the water damage, the flooding that the coast would get, but certainly would get some remnants of the storm. A very good number of damages coming from the high winds, and they're going to hightail it out of here after this game. 1st and 10, ball at the 42-yard line. Davis under center. He's passed for about 111 yards, and that one nowhere near his intended receiver. A little bit of confusion Keon Brown just watches it bounce in front of him. Clock set at 14:53 with the incompletion. Ball still at the 42, second down and 10. Wilson now a permanent fixture in the backfield with McLaughlin out. Gets the block, complete for about a 3-yard gain on that pass. Sent out on the far side, or excuse me, on the near side. Frederick Robinson from Orlando, Florida, from Boone High School. Robinson 6 foot even, 160 pounds, certainly looked taller than that. Going with 4 receivers and 1 setback virtually this entire game with this same formation, almost without exception. Davis back to pass. Pass incomplete. Again, that one falling short of Theodore Hammonds. He's the leading receiver in this game for Warner with 4, and that's 4th down and 8. Warner staved off what would have been very difficult times as Adam Sanders was rumbling in from the 16-yard line on a shuffle pass, fumbled it, got possession, turned it into a touchdown, what was a 43-yard touchdown, the fake punt. The up man takes it across to the 50-yard line, good for the first down. Warner full of all kinds of trickery this afternoon. The onside kick, that one, the snap to Robert Mass, the defensive end. Wouldn't normally think of him getting the football, but it's a Christmas day for him. He got it and took off. Not going to get many chances like that. Had to get eight yards, and he got all of it. It is now setting 1st and 10 at the Cincinnati Christian 47. 14 minutes to play, third quarter. Warner still showing some issues with getting personnel in the game in time. That player didn't get set till about 10 seconds on the play clock. Davis, short dump off to Robinson. He'll get inside the 25-yard line, tripped up. Cincinnati Christian now with the urgency to step up their defense. They did it pretty well for most of the second half. Knocking on the door of getting into the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 31. Warner is just effective enough, balanced with about 110 yards rushing. About 110 yards passing, about 85 yards rushing. Wilson got it there, didn't get much of anything. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 13:04 to play, third quarter. First game of the season. Warner University and Cincinnati Christian. Coming to you from Shakely Athletic Complex, where everything happens for the University of Cincinnati. The Division I program, being a good neighbor and letting Cincinnati Christian rent the facility today. Incomplete, intended for Robinson, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 10. We've got a Warner team that it's kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps back. 3rd down and 10, ball at the 31. They're going to huddle it up and say, hey, let's get things together. Clock ticking down. 5 seconds on the play clock. Davis rushed out of the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. Stopped short of the first down while he was forced out of bounds about 1.5 yards short of the first down. He had to get to the 6 to 17, and I believe he got to about the 19.5 or the 18.5 as it were. So it's going to be 4th and 2. Ball set. Now they're going to try the point out. They're going to try the field goal. This would be a 30-yarder. Warner thinking we may not get back here again. And certainly the way their offense has been sputtering. Kick is up. It is good. The 40-yarder good. Gives Warner a 5-point lead, 17-12. If you're Cincinnati Christian, I guess that's a victory. They stopped him from scoring the touchdown. Just over 12 minutes to play here in the third quarter. And I would not say that either one of these teams have got it locked down. Santiago Tobar to kick it away. A 5-point lead for the Royals. Sends him backpedaling down across the 20-yard line. Wrestled out of bounds. Collins, the return man, I believe the stop was made by Jacob Ross. First and 10 at the 26-yard line. First time we've seen Taylor at quarterback, and it seems like forever. Fakes to give to Sanders. Intended for Clinton. Brings up 2nd down and 10. The incompletion stops the clock at 11:55. The give to Sanders has an opening across the 30 to the 35. Still short of the first down by about a couple. 3rd down and 2. Big drive for Cincinnati Christian here. First of all, they just got to sustain one. (17-12) here as we come to you from the University of Cincinnati. And Sanders did get the first down, about 2.5 yards on that pickup. So it's 1st and 10. They'll put the ball at the 38. Clock rolling down to 11:03. Third quarter action here. Sanders steps up, takes the handoff, cuts the opposite way. Gets it to the 43, a pickup of about 5 yards, so we'll call it second down and 5. And as I said before, Cincinnati Christian had 18 attempts for 17 yards. They're starting to slowly get the run game established again. I'm surprised it didn't really look that way in the first half, that it was that ineffective. Or dare I say woeful. Over the middle, got it. Briggs hauleth it in, and he has had, I'm sorry, that's Clinton. Maceo Clinton right over the middle. Big target for Taylor. Kind of like his security blanket, gets the first down. Cincinnati Christian continues to move ahead. First and 10 from the 35. Sanders straight ahead like a missile across the 30-yard line. Still on his feet. He gets to about the 33. A pickup of 5 yards, and still some words being said between these teams. They've had it going since the first half. It hasn't exploded, I would say, but it's kind of been a chip on the shoulder for both these teams. Second and 2. Ball on the 27. The first down marker just to the south of the 25-yard line. Cincinnati Christian heading to the north. Legal procedure looks like it would go against Cincinnati Christian, so that'll push him back. Second down and 7. And pushes it back to the 32. Call it the 33. Under 9 minutes to play, third quarter. Taylor in the gun. Sanders comes forward. Give to Sanders again. Sanders has an opening across the 30. Bumps into a defender and his own player. Finally goes down at about the 28. Still well short of the first down. Third down and what we will say is 3. First down marker again. Just short of the 25. Right now it's setting just past the 28 for Cincinnati Christian. 17-12 the score if you've just tuned in. Michael Young rushed in from a 9-yard score, threw a 43-yard pass. Sanders again opening up some distance. He will get the first down and waltz out at the 23. And now the numbers starting to shift for Cincinnati Christian. 22 carries, 52 yards. Remember, at one point it was 18 carries, 17 yards. Clock rolling down towards 7:33. Mills comes in motion. Mills will grab it in the screen, met by 2 defenders. Stopped short at the 22. They're going to put him at the 21. Second down and 8. So Cincinnati Christian knocking on the door of the red zone. Ball set at the 21. Taylor has time, looks down the sideline, broken up, almost picked off. Stepping in front of it, Jalen Jones, a cornerback from Clearwater, Florida. They have him at 5'6" and 130 pounds. It's now 3rd and 8. Mills has done a fantastic job of defending the sideline as a receiver, meaning standing his ground. But he didn't get it that time. Briggs and Clinton. Mills on the far side. Movement coming from Warner, but no flag. Stepping up through the mix. Taylor works free. He'll go out at about the 17-yard line. Christian Williams, also one of the receivers, and they're starting to see some more. PT moving past the 6:25 mark. 17-12 the score. Watching Cincinnati Christian football. Warner on top by 5. And we have a timeout, Cincinnati Christian. We remind you, we will have 5 Cincinnati Christian home games on Waycross Sports. Next home game, Thomas More. Also looking at Point University and Union, Kentucky. Finishing up the end of the season with Kentucky Christian. You can watch all the games here on Waycross Sports. Clock stop. 6 minutes. Cincinnati Christian just called the timeout. So Mills and Clinton will go to the far side, it looks like. Lining up on the near side, Williams and Briggs. And also lined up now the slot as Mills comes over to the left side. He goes in motion to the right. Sanders in the backfield. Taylor squares around. Lost it to Massey. Got it. Touchdown. 18 yards. It is now 18-17. For the second time today, Maceo Clinton just runs his way into a touchdown. And I told you before, that's going to be a love connection that we will love to see all season. Point after is good. Mills with the hand stretching skyward, and Cincinnati Christian now up by 3, 20-17. That lights up this crowd. And Cincinnati Christian did it on the running of Adam Sanders to set up so many of those plays to get the offense churning. A run game that had sputtered in the first half for only 17 yards. And with that, Cincinnati Christian now has amassed 309 yards of total offense. Taylor 15 of 29 after that score. 244 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kind of a short kick, fielded at the 20-yard line. Spun around. Working hard and finally getting out at about the 30-yard line. A lot of work for an 11-yard return. Frederick Robinson corralled and really working his way free. 5:43 to play, third quarter. The Warner Royals take over, 1st and 10 at the 32 after the return. Going to give him a 12-yard return. I mean, not a lot to work with as you see that replay. Mike Young, the quarterback. Wilson plows ahead. He will go down at the 38-yard line, a 6-yard pickup, 2nd down and 4. Again, that standard double receiver on each side and gives it to Wilson. Helmet snapped off of one of the linemen. He'll come out. Makes it now 3rd down and 1. Wilson straight ahead. They'll move the chains. With that, that's the 13th first down for Warner Christian. Six of them have come by the run. Six have come by the pass and 1 by penalty. Young in the gun. Wilson flanking him on the left. He steps up, looks to the near side, hauling it in on the sideline, cuts to the middle of the field, crisscrosses inside of the 28 where he is wrapped up. Theodore Hammonds comes up with a stop. I had the stop made by Taekwon Williams from Columbus, Ohio. Time for the Cincinnati Christian defense to step up. Young out to Robinson. Swimming ahead to the 18. Trying to work free of his defender. That's Michael Williams from Miamisburg, the senior defensive back. Rolling down to 3:34. Third quarter action here from Shaky Athletic Complex at the University of Cincinnati. Movement on the line, a fumble. Wilson picks it up. Officials will sort it out. It looked like there could have been, well, there was movement on the Cincinnati side, just enough for some confusion. And I'm not even certain that the quarterback, Michael Young, even had his hands on it. So 1st and 5 from inside the 19. Batted away. Hammonds couldn't get a handle on it. Michael Williams, and they had to break it up. He had an interception earlier. He's had at least 2 breakups today. Second down and 5, ball from the 19. Wilson at running back, just to the left of Young at quarterback. Steps back, the rush is on. And kind of throws a knuckleball, which was, nobody was close. We're not seeing a flag coming on that yet. He was still in the pocket. So it'll simply be an incomplete pass. Third down and 5, 2:47 to play, third quarter. Keon Brown wide to the far side, Robinson to the near side. Looking to Hammonds. Too long, too high, too far. Bringing up 4th and 5 from the 19. If they want to try it, it would be about a 37-yarder by my rough estimate. And it doesn't look like they're even leaning towards that yet. And they are not. Jennings and Brown to the far side. Hammonds and Robbins to the near side. Wilson in the backfield. Young back to pass, gets it off to Wilson, and he will be upended at about the 10, and it looks very close. They say he did not get the first down. Young pleading his case. The quarterback down there trying to make his case to the officials. So the Cincinnati Christian defense stands. Taking wind out of the sails from the Royals. And for a moment, as I looked at the far sideline, it looked just ever so slightly like Mike Young had his head hung. He's still not happy about it as he's pacing to talk to the coaching staff. But CCU takes over. 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line. Taylor under center. The give to Sanders. There's a hole that opens. You'll get a little bit of penetration ahead to the 11-yard line. Clock rolling towards the 2:21 mark. By the way, 4th down efficiency for Warner, 1 for 3 today. 1 for 3 as well for Cincinnati Christian. Just 3 for 11 for Warner on 3rd down conversions. Working his way ahead for Cincinnati Christian. That is Krim. They're going to say no gain, so it's 2nd down and 7. Taylor back into the gun. Back to pass, steps up from his own 4-yard line, throws on the run, incomplete. That could have been trouble. Trying to get it to Krim. Wills was also there close. And that'll bring up 4th and 7. The Cincinnati Christian defense will be called on to make another stop as Warner seemingly will get it back in very good field position. Mixon just inches away from his own goal line, will punt it away. All kinds of flags. You would think from that position it would be against Warner. And they're already marching upfield. That makes it 4th and 2. See if Cincinnati Christian changes anything. Of course, it's still punt formation. The punt is away. Will be fielded bobbled, though, for a moment. Brought down to the 41-yard line. The return. Blake Maryland didn't get much of a return. Brings up first and 10. And they will set it at the 41. At times today, Cincinnati Christian's defense has been stellar. I tend to think that they're getting more urgency and getting stronger as this game goes on. Young incomplete, just past the fingertips of Wilson. I think Wilson was a bit surprised by that it came so quick. .49 seconds left in the third quarter. Cincinnati Christian on top 2017. They were down 7-0, 7-6. Took a 12-7 lead. Fell behind 14-12. Fell behind 17-12. Wilson trapped at the line of scrimmage. A host of purple jerseys. Couple players down there making the stop, including Andrew Aquina from Akron, Ohio, Dominic Valentino, and Cole Pelgren from Middletown. It is 3rd and 10. Warner has not been able to move anything on this possession. Young will work his way free. Deflected, and Cincinnati Christian had it for a moment. Young had nowhere to go, and now he's planted face first into the turf. Tell you what, the trainers came running out in a hurry. It brings up 4th and 10. Cincinnati Christian players will take a knee wherever they are. Quick look at the stats as we get a chance to get those to you right now. With 2 seconds left to play in the third quarter, Cincinnati Christian 2017. 17 first downs for Cincinnati Christian. 4 by the run, 11 by the pass, 2 by penalties. 312 yards of total offense. Cincinnati Christian has shut down Warner University on 3rd and 4th down. All but 4 of 15 times. So they've shut them down 11 times in crunch situations. Warner will punt it away. Dylan Blair. Maceo Clinton back at his own 10-yard line for Cincinnati Christian. A high kick, not going very far, and will bounce at about the 28 and go out. Nope, they're going to put it at the 20. Niner the 30. So that was all of 11 yards net. Young still on the bench being tended to by the trainers. Clinton with his second touchdown catch of the day. They'll switch sides. And that right there, the play of the game, is Wilson gets upended perilously close to the first down. One of the many times, one of 11 times that Cincinnati Christian has shut down Warner in a third or fourth down situation. That one, of course, in a fourth down situation. I don't see anybody warming up on the sideline for Warner as Young has been tended to on the bench. Clinton comes in motion. The give to Sanders. He is ridden down in the backfield. One of the players in there making the stop. That's William Bethel also in there making the stop. Look like Buddy Edwards for Warner. $14:39 to play here in the fourth quarter. Cincinnati Christian holding a 3-point lead. A lot of similarities between these teams. Cincinnati Christian looking for their first win ever. Sanders will bust it open across the 40. Good for the first down. Clock stops momentarily, and then it starts up again. We're down to 14:05. Taylor's got some time. The pocket will form. The pass complete at the 49-yard line, spinning ahead to the 46. Christian Williams with a big catch, going up against three defenders to stay with it too, and they're gunning for that ball. Sanders doesn't get much of anything. He is the leading rusher, though, for Cincinnati Christian. 70 carries, 26 yards. Second down and 12. Down the sideline, Williams can't make the catch. I'll tell you what, Warner didn't give him much room to work with Damian Del Rosario. Made him a lot concerned about the sideline. Not only did he have to catch the pass, but he had to remember where the sideline was, and Del Rosario made him very well aware of that. Probably felt his breath on him. It was that close. So it is now 3rd down and 12. 12-14 to play in regulation. Massey misses it, and that would have been a big one. Meanwhile, opposite side for Warner Christian, Kimmett Jackson, the safety, was slapping his helmet because he thought he should have had that as well. The punt team comes in. Nixon set to kick it away. Simmons will watch it roll. Excuse me, that's actually not Simmons. That is Maryland who just watch it roll. And how about that for Cincinnati Christian? Planting it inside the 1. So let's see if Young comes back in. He took a hard hit, and he was being tended to on the bench quite a while. So Dylan Blair now in at quarterback, the freshman, in an unenviable situation. A razor-thin margin to work with inside the 1. Blair looking, goes too long. It was intended for Theo Hammonds. Even at 6'4", Theo Hammonds would have had to have been 20'4" to be able to get that pass. It was 15 yards past the sideline. Inside 12 minutes now to play in regulation. Blair, as we mentioned, a freshman, 6'2", 225 pounds. Gives it to Wilson, and he barely gets out of the end zone. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. The hole was collapsing on him very quickly. It is 3rd and 10. And for Warner University, a freshman with all the weight in the world on him, with not much to work with, and you can't really come out gambling. 3rd and long, back to pass, looking for broke down the sideline, incomplete. A flag on the play. It'll be pass interference. A lot of folks in the stands thought it was offensive pass interference intended for Keon Brown. Well, that will give Warner some breathing room, or will it? Still waiting for the official signal, but I would assume that it would stand. Okay, so unsportsmanlike conduct is what the call was. Cincinnati Christian fans wanted an offensive pass interference. So 1st and 10. Blair gives it to Wilson. Wilson zigging and zagging. Gets upended, and again, very little to work with. Williams in there to make the stop. I was waiting to get a good recognition on the number, but I was pretty sure it was Wilson who made the stop. A 3-yard gain, and he worked all he could get to get that one. Blair bobbles it, and he goes down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of at least 4. So now we're looking at a loss of 5, 3rd down and 12. The ball set at the 14. And the freshman quarterback, Blair, coming in relief after Young was shaken up. Over the middle, incomplete. Trying to dial in Jennings. And it's now 4th and 12. And again, another big third down stand for Cincinnati Christian. Cincinnati Christian today has stopped Warner 11 times on third down alone. Fielded by Clinton at the 50-yard line, and he is hammered. Hit down at the 49-yard line. The missile in the backfield that got him, Xavier Johnson II from Miami, Florida. As we mentioned before, Warner from Lake Wales, Florida, Central Florida, about an hour from the coast, certainly in the wrath of the hurricane that is impending. As soon as this game is over, they're going to hightail it out, try to catch their plane, which is set for 6:15. Pass incomplete. Once Warner gets home, they're going to batten down the hatches, pack up, and head out before the storm hits. Things so severe that the flight was actually bumped up an hour. So the penalty on CCU, an illegal shift. So it's 2nd down and 10. Ball marked at the 49. 10:03 to play, 4th quarter. Cincinnati Christian, first of all, trying to maintain possession of the football. The give had wrapped up, ridden down in the backfield. Purdue, nothing going there. Anderson with the big stuff. LaMarcus Anderson wearing number 2. He's 5'10", 215 pounds. You don't normally see defensive ends, defensive linemen with single-digit numbers. It's now 3rd down and 11. Moving towards 9:20 here in the regulation in the 4th quarter. Taylor steps up. Over the middle, incomplete, overthrows his intended receiver, Wills, and that'll bring up 4th and 12. We talked about Warner's inefficiency on 3rd down. Cincinnati Christian 6 of 14 offensively on converting on 3rd down. And you can't help but think that Cincinnati Christian has had more than enough opportunities to put this game away, or certainly to create some separation. Nixon in to punt it away. Back to receive Blake Maryland, and a flag. It looks like it's going to go against Cincinnati Christian, and it will indeed. It was 4th and 11. Now it's going to be 4th and 16. Maryland set to receive it just ahead of his own 20-yard line. And Maryland will watch it bounce. He's ridden down, tackled by the collar. Not a horse collar, mind you, but literally by the shirt collar, and thrown down inside the 10. And remember, he was set up at the 20 and he backpedaled. So again, long yardage situation, or a lot of field to work with for Warner. Blair back in at quarterback. Only his second drive of the game. The give to Wilson. Tripped up and dazed and confused in the backfield. Barely able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down and 10. 8:50 to play in the fourth quarter. Cincinnati Christian on top, 20-17. Cincinnati Christian 333 yards of total offense, including 257 passing. Complete to Brown. He will get it to the 15. Couple players down there to wrap him up for Cincinnati Christian. One of them, Tyquan Williams. Still third down and 5. Even after all of that work, they still have got more work to do to get a first down. Under 8 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Blair steps up off the shoulder pad. Jeffrey Jennings unable to haul it in. And we could have history in the making today. Blair will punt it away inside his own 1 yard line. The kick. It is high. And again, not very far. Will bounce at the 30. Bounces off a Warner player and will roll to the 39. We've talked about the CCU defense. Take a look at this. Now, it's not been a masterpiece, but for what it is, it's pretty good. "15 times Warner University has gone to third down. 3 times they have converted. Sanders steps up, comes in motion is Clinton. Sanders right in the middle, gets pounded. A host of defenders down there to meet him, including A.J. Robinson. Clock starting to weigh into decisions now as we move to the 7:15 mark. Second down and 10. Ball at the Warner 35. Cincinnati Christian offense on the move. They pounded out 333 yards of offense today. Clinton goes in motion to the left side. Taylor takes the snap, looks. That one complete. Christian Williams good for the first down at about the 27-yard line. Nope. They're going to say just short. Had to get to the 25. My bad. I'm sorry. But still, a big snag. 6:40 left to play in the fourth quarter. Third down and 2. They put it at the 28. Wills to the far side. Clinton way to the far side, lined up in the slot is Briggs. Sanders steps up. The shuffle pass to Sanders, very ill-advised. Into that type of adversity, not overly wise, but nonetheless, Cincinnati Christian holds on to the football. More importantly than the first down is maintaining possession and keeping the clock running. Taylor back to pass, complete to Sanders, and he is dropped for a loss. That is going to be at least a 3-yard loss, probably 4. And Warner takes over, 1st and 10 at the 32. Clock stopped at 6:13. This is how Warner has scored today. Brought down at the 30-yard line. The pass complete to Hammonds. A short gain, maybe 4. So it's 2nd down and 6. Shotgun formation for Blair. Airing it out. No one 20 yards in the same hemisphere. Well, he has an arm. It just needs to find somebody who's in the same zip code. Intentional grounding is the call. It's a 3rd down and 12. Clock stops at 5:36. Blair gunning, will try to gun it out of the pocket. Coming back to get it, can't wrap it up. Brings up 4th down and 12. Frederick Robinson had to cover a lot of real estate to even make it look close. Fourth and 12. And Blair will have to punt it away again. It will bounce at the 41, will take a Warner roll, and finally drop near the 32. Clock set now at 5:17. Cincinnati Christian, their first priority, getting first downs and eating clock. Cincinnati Christian looking for the elusive W. The intensity starting to build. Will it be an historic day? carried straight ahead to the 33. Evan Krim. And folks, I'm going to tell you right now, this will be a very run-intensive drive. Clock down to 20 seconds in terms of the play clock, and you probably won't see a ball move until about 3 or 4 or maybe even 2. Briggs in motion, gets set. 7 seconds on the play clock as Krim pushes ahead. 4:24 and ticking down. So last time it was down to 7. Again, no urgency whatsoever from Cincinnati Christian. Only to get the first down. Under 4 minutes to play. Play clock down to 5. Taylor back to pass, complete to Williams. Good for the first down. Will keep the clock running. Under 4 minutes. When this program was founded in 2016, no one had any idea it would take this long to get to this spot. The intensity building with each moment. Taylor, the give to Sanders. He is upended in the backfield. Coming in quickly, Robinson. A.J. Robinson from Sebring, Florida. Again, one of those places, Sebring, Florida, right there on the Space Coast. Ground zero for the imminent hurricane. Second down and 14. Ball at the 43. Clinton in motion. He comes back this direction. Sanders has an opening, spun around, breaks across the 35 to the 40, down inside the 35 and out of bounds. And more breathing room for Cincinnati Christian. When this snap is taken, there will be less than 2 minutes left. Like Captain Ahab looking for the white whale, today may be that day. Purdue inside of the 20. Clock stopped for the first down at 1:48. It starts up again. Listen to that crowd. There is blood in the water. Will we see Taylor go to victory formation? Nope. Gives it to Purdue. He will cut to the outside. Bounced off of the 16 and stopped. Second down and about 6. Correction, second down and second down in about 5. Clock stopped at 1 minute, 8 seconds. Timeout called by Warner. And as soon as this game is over, Warner will put on their running shoes and try to catch a plane. One of the big runs today from Adam Sanders. He had a tough go early. Right now sitting at 20 carries for 43 yards. And this is the Cincinnati Christian team that's amassed 382 yards today. Cincinnati Christian was 0 for 2016, 0 for 2017, 0 for 2018. A new day has dawned in 2019. 68 seconds away from a day that will live forever. Sanders inside the 10, down to the 6. Sanders, the portrait of persistence today, stopped so many times early in the first half statistically. Clock stopped at a minute. It's 1st and goal to go from the 9. .102. CCU players stoking this crowd. A few remnants remaining seated, but not many. The countdown is about to begin. Everyone in this crowd knows what's happening. Hugs on the sideline. Now, here comes victory formation. Taylor will take the knee. Warner calls the timeout. That is their last. The clock stops at 59 seconds. Gatorade getting filled up on the sideline. The jugs are getting filled up on the sideline. The coolers. Saw a player sneak one away. So to our camera crew, be on the lookout for those orange Gatorade coolers. Oh, I'm told it's already happened. Lots of handshakes, lots of hugs. Second and goal to go from the 9. Taylor takes the knee. And that most likely will be the last time. So on this date, August 30th, 2019, Cincinnati Christian will etch this date into history. One more snap, that's it. And they storm the field. Cincinnati Christian with their first win in football program history. A hard-fought 2017 victory over Warner. For this contest, Cincinnati Christian, 395 yards of total offense, 271 passing, and a gritty 124 yards of passing. 3 zeros line the scoreboard, and Cincinnati Christian can finally hang the W. Final numbers in this one. Adam Sanders, 22 carries, 55 yards. Jared Purdue, 5 carries, 40 yards. Derek Taylor, 19 of 39 attempted passes, 273 yards, 2 touchdowns. Maceo Clinton, 2 touchdowns, 112 yards receiving. That is the tale of the tape. That is how this game was won. Cincinnati Christian, victors today, 2017. For everybody at Waycross Sports, I'm Gene Jackson. So long, everybody.